exploiting man instead of a system. Do what you do, not for them, not for them, but for you. Good sash, I'm unconventional. Remember what we spoke about. Is he on my sister? Is he on my sister? Not her dad, not her home. Down bad. She's been displaced. Is he on my sister? Is he on my sister? I feel usurped. You feel usurped, but blood's thicker than water. Blood's thicker than water. Can't break bread with a stone. Can't break bread with a stone. She's not my blood. Make it so. It's impossible. Precisely. That's not family ties. Prioritize. Out of time. We're out of time. You seem better set. She is. There's a change. You seem to speak for her now. I do. And she for me. That's progress in a way. Look at you. Look at us. Bonded over. Something immaterial. You ruined my life. You ruined mine. And together, that's what we must rectify. We're both imposters in our own lives, birthed by neglect. Perfect parents so in love that their kids they forget. No one sees us, no one hears us, no one but you. So take our sides, divine counselor, what on earth shall we do? Let me think, thicker than water. Let me think, thicker than water. Let me think. After all the toing and flowing, my children, hear this. What's most important is that you not just insist, but persist with what I told you. Elizabeth, not my dad, not home. Not my dad, not my home. Sonya, your mother is lesser. She wants what's best for her. Your new stepdaddy, he's got money, big money. He can buy us both a better life. He can buy us both a better life. There's benefits to exploiting a man instead of a system. To exploiting a Not to kill your parents. My darlings, my darlings. I never said commit a murder. Never mind a double murder. I've got a skill to fly. I'm not who you thought. I'm an imposter. I'm not how you think. You've made me a monster. What happened to blood thicker than water? I was displaced and I was usurped. We were Delbert, so we went easy on each other. We broke bread without a stone. We broke bread just like you said. Like I said, except we broke it with bones. You'll be fine. I'm not who you think. I'm a fraud. Oh, for God's sake. I did what I did for me. Everything I said was a lie. Just like you said. Oh, just lazy. Not for you, but for me. I've no right to advise anybody. Your parents, they're dead. We took ecstasy and stayed up till 3. Excuse me. She's not coming back. No. It's just you and me. It's just you and me. Wash and blood. Yesterday at 3. Until infinity. It's just you and me. It's just you and me. Washed in blood. Broken bones. Broken bones. Broken bread. Broken bread with bones. It's just you and me. It's just you and me. Broken bones. Broken bones. Washed in blood. Yesterday at 3. Until infinity. Let's go.
Well, it's really lovely to see that one video. It's well, it seems to work really well. It's also really hard not to feel like some kind of imposter, having watched that, being a kind of fake TV host type person. Anyway, My name is Bill Banks-Jones, Artistic Director of Tete. My pronouns are he, him. I am a white man in my early 60s with a baseball cap, glasses, and a rather bright light behind me, making it a bit dazzling against the Tete banner. I'm just going to ask our panel, which is more people than expected, to join us so we can have a bit of a chat about this. And you are really welcome to ask questions by typing them into the chat function. I think maybe that will make itself known to you. But there it is, the little speech bubble down at the bottom. And let's just see if we can make these videos work. I don't know. Yanni, are you there? Are you able to put your video on? Yes. And let's see if we can get Sarah Mars, one of your singers, to put a video on. This may involve a bit of jiggery pokery. I'll do that, I think. And Hayden Miller, who was your pianist. You should be able to join us as well. Hope you can. Yes, there you are. Anyway, yeah, we haven't got Sarah yet, but she can certainly put herself on when she
Oh, there
wants.
we go.
She is. Hello, hello, hello. So let's start with Yanni. It would be really nice to know where it all came from. Where did the idea start?
Wow. It actually spun out of a different idea. I think the first conversations I had with my librettist Noah was that I wanted to talk about specifically about like two schoolgirls, or girls who just came out of school and their experiences. And I was also interested in the idea of like going to therapy because like I personally have not gone to therapy, but I know like lots of my friends who have gone to therapy and hearing their stories, and some of them even come to me and they say, I need therapy after therapy. So that's that was like one of my little starting points, and I talked with Noah about this and we bounced off quite a number of ideas. And yeah, there were lots of like suggestions from Noah as well, for the both of them to be like, stepsisters, both coming from very different backgrounds and trying to sort of get along with each other. And I think in such a situation, it's quite common to sort of find yourself in a position of being like an imposter. Um,
I think
and
it's quite common in all walks of life. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's a very bizarre story as well. The therapist is not a therapist herself, and she was hired by both girls' father to bring both girls together so that they could get along. And um,
Well, she
I
did
think,
that.
yeah, in doing that, she might have caused a bit more harm than she expected. So that was it was a really, yeah, crazy story to work with.
And
But oh,
something quite interesting to all of us, I think, is I mean, Noah wrote your words, but how did you two come together? Did you know him before, or was it an arranged marriage, or how did you meet?
it was kind of well, it wasn't really an arranged marriage. We did this was part of the Royal Academy of Music's opera makers project, and we had four composers and four librettists, and it was a very fun experience because most of our librettists had quite little experience with opera, so they come from different backgrounds, like in theatre or in filmmaking, and yeah, it was very interesting for for us to have different experience, like working with text. So, um, I I chose to work with Noah, and it was a mutual agreement because I think we were both quite fascinated by like common interests like true crime documentaries.
No.
We were very into those kind of things, and we wanted to make something that was like slightly dark, but also comedic in a way. So I think this was perfect for that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've watched it. That's the fourth time I've watched it now, isn't it? And because you said I've seen a video and then a rehearsal and then a performance and then that watched it just now. And actually, it's the first encounter, it's quite light, but the more you see it, the more depth it gains. It's a really interesting piece. Um, let's go to Sarah, who's you're wearing two hats today, aren't you? But today, first, you've got your singer hat on. How was it for you?
Um, well, I wasn't on the premiere of this opera, but I
Ah,
always coveted the role, should I say? So the singer who premiered this role, Imogen Baker, is amazing. But she was unable to do it for the second go around, so I stepped in, and I'm really lucky that Yanni trusted me with it, and I had a blast
yeah,
learning it.
it was a really wonderful performance, Sarah. I mean, you're wearing two hats because later on you'll appear as a composer, but it's very hard to tell which is your first study. What are you first and foremost, or have you decided yet? Or
Oh,
ever need to decide?
I don't think I need to decide. I started on singing, and I think that it just informs everything I do. I think, yeah, right now I'm like 60/40, 60 composing, 40 singing, but it was such a treat to be like 90% singer a couple weeks ago and just focus on doing your piece justice, Yenny, and it was a great cast.
Well, you were also, like the pair of you, were also doing a lot of organising, weren't you? And very well you did it too. It's yeah, it's of course one wants to ask how the composing informs the singing, because that's just what we've watched you do.
Um, I will say I found it, I think, I don't know if it informs the singing so much as the other way around, but I found because I know Yenny and we were working in my dorm's dining hall together on the opera that I sort of knew where she was, where her head was at for a lot of it. So I found it, I mean, it's easier to sing your friend's music.
That's a really lovely thing to hear. I think that's always true. It's like when families sing together, you can't match it. The better you know each other, the richer the outcome, really. Hayden, how do you fit into all this? Are you all old friends? And is opera your normal thing?
Well, so I like Sarah, I was also brought on for this production. So I was very glad when Yenny asked me to join and I was super excited. Most of what I do is sort of normal solo piano, that's my degree. But I do a lot of work with singers, so it felt like a nice homeward journey to get to work on an opera, which I hadn't done before. So
Oh,
it was
really?
very exciting. I had done musical theater a lot, but no actual opera production. So it was both new and a return to a lot
And
of work that I'd done.
so you came in for the tete-a-tete production. You didn't do it originally, you
I
mean?
didn't. Yes.
Wow.
So yeah,
Well, I think you're very gifted and very much to be
thank
congratulated.
you.
So to hear you, you were absolutely ingrained in the storytelling. You knew what was going on, which is not always the case.
It
Um,
was yeah, it was really helpful to sit in and sort of all of the rehearsals because I was once we started working for this production that happened a few weeks ago, I was there for the whole process. So I got to saw all of the staging and all of the discussions about how we were characterizing things. And for me, that was really important because then that informs whether or not I follow that with the music or create a contrast with it to sort of highlight whatever our dramatic intention was.
well, yeah, but you also paid attention, which is not always the case. And you're to be congratulated for that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great thing in rehearsals when people really drink in what's going on when the spotlight isn't on them, because your role in the production is that much better, that much richer. And it sounded such a beautiful full score. I wanted to ask the pair of you, really, Hayden and Yanni, um, whether you were playing a reduced orchestration or did you really think this, did you imagine the piano, Yanni?
I think I really did compose like just for the piano. I don't usually work with short score, unlike a lot of composers. But so when I compose for instruments, I really just think about the instrument as it is already. So not as the orchestra. So, but I feel like even with the piano, there's a lot of soundscapes that you could create to enhance the singers, to be in contrast with the singers. So I found that really interesting. And I just wanted to add on, like earlier, half of my team actually was new and brought on to this production from the last one we did back at the academy. Half of my team couldn't make it, so I got on a new set of musicians, and they were all really fabulous, and the dynamics were really good in rehearsals and stagings, and even lots of like creative inputs. Even like Hayden made lots of creative suggestions, and how he could fit in with the staging as well. And yeah, it was really nice to work with all of them, including Sarah, who, yes, I spent we spent lots of time composing together last year. And I think it's nice to work with a singer who's also a composer, because I think that level of like understanding the work on a micro level, but also on the macro level, and how different scenes are relating to each other. I think that's really important, and that's like something I really appreciate.
Yeah, I'll just remind the audience that you're very welcome to type questions in the chat, which we can pass on into the room, but there's plenty to talk about. I was going to ask almost the opposite. You've answered it already, whether it was scary to work with, well, maybe it is still a good question, whether it's scary also to work with a singer who's also a composer.
I think undoubtedly Sarah composes for the voice much better than me, so I was a bit scared at first. And well, Sarah's written lots of vocal music, lots of music for the stage as well. So it was really nice to hear her inputs as well on some of the sort of the lyrical, how lyrical each line is. And yeah, there was some suggestions on like word setting as well. So I took that into consideration for future works. But no, it was really nice to work with Sarah. She was really on the ball. In fact, all of the singers I did, and the rest of the team, I don't think there was any moment I really had any worry about how this would turn out. I think they were an amazing team. They were very on the ball. So I think right from the first day, it just felt right.
Oh, that's such a lovely thing to hear, and it's so lovely when that happens, because it certainly doesn't always. It's really cool. Is it your first opera, Annie?
Yeah, it's my first opera, and I have never written for, well, I wrote this concurrently with my first sort of voice and organ work, but so this would have been the first work for voice as well.
Oh, that's so exciting. And how was it to sing?
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward to sing. I think like the key with like looking at Yenny's music is like on the page it doesn't seem like it would be like some parts don't look like they would be conducive to voice, but when you actually sing through them, I can tell like the thought she's put into it. So it's just a case of being open-minded and trusting that what she's written is it works. It works no matter if like the singer in me is like, oh, well, like a different composer might have set this, like Menotti might have set this line differently. That doesn't matter because you create like a completely, like having not written for voice before, you bring something new to writing for voices. Like I don't think someone else would have written the we broke bread without a stone. That section, I think someone else might have done something a bit more lyrical, but it's very effective and helps the entire mood of the piece. And it ended up being one of my favorite parts to sing. It's a little bit challenging, but really fun to sing.
Oh, it's really lovely to hear. But I mean, I certainly can say as somebody who came into opera a long time ago, but from theatre and used to dealing with text, you and has done a lot of new work. You can tell immediately whether a composer has started by thinking about how people say things, or whether there's some grafted on kind of technical apparatus being wielded. And certainly, I think you've got a gift, Yanni, for the natural setting. You've worked hard to do it as well. They do sound like real people. They don't sound like ideas. That's a really lovely thing. It's lovely to to see early stage stuff. It's very exciting when you say it's my first opera. How was it to play, Aidan?
It was very comfortable. There was like one passage where I had to really cram the notes in, but the rest of it made a lot of sense. And what was so fun about it was having all these little mini sections with sort of completely different influences. So you have this like serene opening, which is just very fun to play as long as you read the accidentals correctly. And then you have all these sections where you have this like anxious ticking clock type thing, and that's fun because you just get to play the same note over and over again. And then these more lyrical sections, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it makes it richer for the listener as well because
Yes.
you're not stuck in one place going, "Let me out of here," or whatever. For our audience, accidentals, that's a slightly hard thing to explain. In musical notation, notes are written in a particular way, say like A, B, C, D, E, and then you put a sign against that, which slightly changes the pitch up or down, sharp up, flat down, so like A flat, B flat. So that's what an accidental is. It's a really hard thing to try and explain in really simple terms, just in case somebody doesn't know. But I had to go. Anything else anybody wants to say or ask? If not, I think we should just thank you very much. And oh, here we go. Watching from Houston, Texas. Loved Imposters. Everyone did such an incredible job. Can hear the panel's passion for imposters in their talk. That's from Rachel. I'm not going to say attempt the surname, but thank you very much, Rachel. The obvious one remaining question is what's the next one? Yanni.
Wow. I'm still thinking about it actually, but I feel like Imposters is a really deep story condensed into this like 15-minute mini opera. And after the performance at Tet, I did actually consider I might expand it maybe to like a full length one, and we could dive into each of Sonya and Elizabeth's story even deeper. So that's something I have at the back of my head at the moment.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
part of a slightly veiled question to see whether there was any thought, but there clearly is. And I think that's good news because I think we all enjoyed it very much.
Oh,
Thank you all very much. See you at the longer Imposters, and thank you, audience, for sticking with us. We've got 4 more of these today for those of you who are super keen. So have a look at the website. You might even see 1 or 2 of us again. Anyway, thank you so much and congratulations. Okay, bye.